I'm Mrs. Salma Ramirez, and I'm the Library Media Specialist here at Stewart Place Elementary. Schedules are not quite the same during the holiday break, but one thing that we'll all benefit from during this holiday season is to schedule some reading activities for the entire family. In this video, I'll provide some tips on how to do just that, and I'll show you some of my favorite holiday books. At the end of the video, you'll find this information and much more to learn about great ways to include family literacy in your holiday season. Now, here are 6 tips. Number 1, make a plan as a family for everyone to read. Buy or borrow books. You can go to traditional bookstores or online bookstores. You can go to the area public libraries. And there's also virtual libraries that are included in your public library membership or in HCISD. Number 2, read aloud holiday themed books and include cultures other than your own. Christmas carols don't have to be the only thing that we share aloud together. Let's make a tradition of reading books aloud to each other, especially when everybody is here to visit. Number 3, give books as gifts. Not only that, not just buying books, but making some books. And another great thing to do is those read alouds. How about videotaping some of the kids or yourself reading aloud and give that as a holiday gift? Number 4, travel with books. Take all the books you can with you everywhere you go to have something to read all the time or to read to each other all the time. But if that's too heavy for you, how about ebooks? A whole bunch of books can fit on one device and you have a whole bunch to share with everyone. Number 5, try connecting reading with holiday activities. We're going to be doing a lot of cooking and a lot of eating, so recipes are a great reading tradition we can do. How-to books, if you're first learning how to ski, how to skateboard, how to do any of those things during the holidays, that'd be another great thing to do. And also the holiday cards and the letters, make that a family tradition to read them all together instead of individually. And number 6, try writing activities over the holidays. We're making so many lists. Let's include everybody in making those lists. Holiday cards and letters, we're making those. Let's write those. Thank you notes. Journaling is a great thing to start now, especially if you're giving journals for the holiday season. And what about writing your own holiday story? You can do it traditionally, or you can use an app. There's plenty of apps to be doing story creations, and it's so much fun to do. And moving on to some of my favorite holiday books. Starting off with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and moving on to The Polar Express. I think these are mostly everybody's favorites. And we've all heard of A Christmas Carol, but let's take the book again and read it one more time. It's always a great read. Another great read in chapter form is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and this one is one of the kid favorites, and it's great to read as well. And I bet many people don't know that The Nutcracker and the Mouse King wasn't a ballet at first. It was written in 1816, and then in 1892 it was made into a ballet by Tchaikovsky, and what was the choreographer's name? Petita. They were the ones that put it later into ballet form. And those are, of course, the favorites. But I've got a few more that are not so well known. Got The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey, and it's about kindness breaking through the bitterest of hearts. One of my super favorites is Truce by Jim Murphy, and it is about World War I and the first Christmas of that war in 1914, when in the Western Front a ceasefire was done, and in the trenches the British and the German crossed the lines together, and actually instead of being enemies in war, they were neighbors for that few hours of Christmas. That was a great miracle that happened in that time. Going on to more cultural books, we have the 7 Days of Kwanzaa, which explains the 7 principles of Kwanzaa in a very unique way and really nicely done. The Legend of the Poinsettia by Tommy the Paola. This is about a Mexican legend which teaches that the most humblest of gifts are usually the most meaningful, and it's a great read. I Know an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Dreidel. This is full of surprises. If you're an art lover, or if you're not, you're going to find a lot of art in here that is very surprising, and it's such a great book. Christmas Around the World. This is a book that features 12 countries and all their traditions in a very colorful way. It's a great book to have as well. Now, another of my favorites is, and this was more recent, this is Snowflake Bentley. It's not so much a Christmas book or a holiday book, it's more a winter book, but it's about William Bentley and how in 1885, in January 15th of 1885, he photographed the first photograph of a snowflake, and the science of snowflakes was born. And this is one of my super favorite books. I have just 4 more books to show you, and they're in my Kindle. Starting with 7 Spools of Thread. Going back to Kwanzaa, this book teaches about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and it gives a very beautiful lesson about those 7 principles. Another book is, there we go, Maccabee, the Story of Hanukkah. And this one is a very colorful and almost comic strip way of showing the story of Hanukkah taken from the Hebrew scriptures. Another one, last 2, and these are my most recent favorite. As a matter of fact, the past couple of weeks I've found them. First one is The Carpenter's Gift, and this is about the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree tradition and how it's tied to Habitat to Humanity, and how it all started in the early 30s. And it's a very heartwarming story, especially a great read aloud for this Christmas, and about an American tradition. And my favorite last one is J.R.R. Tolkien's Letters from Father Christmas. It's actually a compilation. They've compiled all of Tolkien's personal correspondences that he did to his children. By the way, he is the author of the trilogy Lord of the Rings, and he every year would write to his own children letters about Santa Claus and pretending to be Santa Claus. And he would illustrate them himself. You will also see not only on type what he wrote, but the original letters in his own handwriting, photocopies of them. But the sweetest thing is that he illustrated them. And I'm trying to find an illustration. It's coming up. For instance, he's got some illustrations that he did for the letters, and he had such a great imagination about the North Pole and all that was happening and all of the adventures that Santa was taking. So this is one of my newest favorites, and I hope it will be for you too. Now, these are only a few of the great books out there. You can always look for more. And again, I will give more information at the end of this video. And I'd like to leave you now with a quote from Laurel Snyder, author of Baxter, the Pig Who Wanted to Be Kosher. And she says, "The instinct to give books for Hanukkah feels important, inherently a part of the holiday. Winter is a dark season, and books provide as strong a light as candles. They shine and transform the nighttime, and they give us a reason to cuddle up to our kids and share a few quiet moments. And in this strange new world, where text is changing so rapidly, it feels important to hold on, as Jews do so well, to the memory of the book." And with that, I leave you, and I hope you take advantage of reading during your holiday season. Be safe, so that we can see you again when we come back in January. Have a great time reading, of course.